Sandy says, question, how to be different, been seduced versus pursued. How to different. How to different. Sandy wants to know how to different, seduced versus pursued. Well, they're both kind of the same thing, right? they're both part of the same world, because a man needs to seduce you. That's part of the plan. That's part of what he needs to do if he wants to be in a relationship with you. If he doesn't do that, he's never going to be in a relationship with you unless you seduce him, which the probability of a woman seducing a man is really, really low. It happens. And it happens to guys that are really, really attractive men. But for most men, it's not going to happen for them. And so if he wants to be in a relationship with you, he needs to seduce you at some point. However, I will say this, Sandy. However, you get to decide when that happens, how quickly that happens, and all that, right? It's two people. Men are the ones that are pursuing women for relationships, for sex, for, whatever. And you get to determine, as the woman, since you're part of this, you get to determine how quickly that happens, or whether it happens at all, or whether it doesn't happen, or any of that kind of stuff, right? You women are the gatekeepers to sex. That's the way that it's thought of. And I'd say that that's a pretty good, accurate description of how things work with it. And men are the gatekeepers for relationships. And so men are, if he's attracted to you, he's going to want to hook up with you. That's just a part of the plan. And that's part of the motivation that he has. He sees you, he thinks, beautiful woman, I want to hook up with her. And so he starts talking to you. And while he's talking to you, he's going to start having kind of different emotional reactions. He's going to have some different realizations about what's going on. He's going to think about you. He's going to see you. He's going to be like, Sandy's really cute and wonderful woman, right? And he's going to slot you into different categories just subconsciously. And they're part of the different categories. One is like the hookup category, right? Or the one night stand category, let's say that. There's a one night stand category of, I want to hook up with this woman tonight and then never talk to her again, right? That's the one night stand category. You want to avoid that at all costs, and you can, right? Just don't hook up with them. And then there's the casual hookup situationship kind of a category that he can put you in. And you look at that, and the way that you make sure that you don't get into that is by having real conversations with him about what he's doing, about what he wants, you need to slow him down and make sure that you pace things. And, most guys, if it becomes difficult, right? Like there's this 3-date rule that's out there and on the men's side, and women's side is what actually came from the women's side. That's where the 3-date rule came from. It came from a book called The Rules. And guys found out about it, right? Where women were like, oh, you don't sleep with a guy until after the 3rd date. And so guys were like, oh, just go on 3 dates with a woman and then hook up with her, right? And so that arbitrary rule stopped working. Well, if you push things back even further, if you just keep pushing things back and you're like, hey, no, I want to get to know you. I want to make sure that, I really like you. I want to make sure that this is going in the right direction for us to, for me to feel like I'm valued, and that, we're in some kind of relationship or something, in order for me to feel like I want to hook up with somebody. That's what I need. That's what I need to experience. And, most guys, if they're just looking to hook up, there's only a certain amount of time that they want to spend with you before they feel like they're wasting their time. And so if you talk to a guy and you find out, even if he tells you that he wants a real relationship, or he tells you he loves you, or whatever nonsense he tells you, you don't hook up with him. You keep waiting, because you're looking for consistency over time. You're looking for, what are his actions? You're looking to make sure that he's a quality man. You're looking to see what his red flags are. You're looking to see what his patterns are. Your job as a woman, if you want to get into a real relationship, is to become a pattern finder, That's what you want to do, is you want to be a pattern finder, and you want to look for patterns on what's going on with this guy, because his patterns will show you who he is. And so if you hook up with him quickly on the first couple of dates, then you're not going to get to see his patterns. And if you wait to hook up with him, you're going to be able to see more of his patterns, more and more and more of his patterns. If you see him in difficult situations, you're going to see more of his patterns. You're going to see more of his character and who he is as a man. And so you want to have all those kinds of things going on, and you want to wait, and you want to ask questions. You can ask a guy what he's looking for. Let's assume for a second that you're dating on dating apps. You can ask a guy what he's looking for before you even meet up with him. And I suggest you do. Just say, hey, what are you looking for on here? And he'll tell you. And if it's not in alignment with what you're looking for, then don't go on a date with him. You don't need to go on a date with that guy. Right? And it's not a problem. Are some guys going to run from you when you ask them that question? Absolutely. And that's a giant red flag that shows you that they're not what you're looking for. It doesn't matter how cute he is, or how great his personality is, or what he wrote on his profile, or, how cool his images are and whatever. If he's not looking for the same thing that you're looking for, then you don't want to go on a date with him. And so my suggestion is you start having these conversations and talking about these things, maybe not, making an interview style thing, because that's boring and it sucks, but actually have, just ask the question, what are you looking for? What are you looking for on here? And do it early. And that's the first indicator. And then the second indicator is how he connects with you, and do you connect with each other well? And if you stop hooking up with guys quickly and you ask them these questions early on, you can weed out the wrong ones quickly, and you can make sure you're not getting overly invested in hooking up with and being in bad situations with guys that don't want anything real with you. I know, Sandy, you asked a really short question, and you're probably expecting a short, easy answer for that, but I am trying to give you everything that I can to make sure that you know what's going on, so that you can put yourself into a great situation there, Sandy. So I hope that helps.